green one is the original one.
Right.
Well, then what was the white? Why did they make the white ones? Was
Well,
that made in error?
when they reordered, that's how they had to make it.
Oh,
Some reason they couldn't get the material.
yeah.
At that point. And our main train area was up off to the left, going up and through here. And this is some of the different types of equipment and exercises that we were on.
Well, they left Harry's uniform there too.
Yeah. Reunion. And then actually on here, not counting the underclothes, meaning the underwear and stuff like that, there's a pair of trousers and two sets of sweaters. One was like a turtleneck sweater and the other one was a roll type collar on it. And then you had the parka. Now the first.
They never got a boots in this guy yet.
Yeah.
Still looks pretty good. I wonder who has to keep all this clean.
That one lady, I can't think of her
Yeah, I
name.
know. Now that was the rucksack you thought you had at home?
Yeah,
Whose duffel bag is that?
mine. Don't you see the name on it?
Yeah, but I can't quite make it out.
Were all the bags printed with the name that big?
Pardon me?
Did all the soldiers have their name printed that big on their
Yes,
bag?
yes. Now, this was our personal, then that was a water basin. And and in the back is the pack board. And basically, that picture on the left up there is what you would see the guys wearing. One lieutenant that you met at the reunion. And this is the jacket I was telling you about. The reason we got this out here like this is through here and up through here is where he got hit. Now they claim that this was a hit also, but I really don't know if it would be or not. And the reason I say that, kind of unlikely that it would make a tear like this all the way across.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see how it's been wore out too. Now that was part of the jackets that we would wear out on line and stuff.
I guess.
Okay, now the story behind this one plaque up here, in September of 45, or 95 rather, we were asked to come to Malmedy, Belgium. And this was to be in commemoration of the Battle of the Bulge, and this was given to us by the Belgique Underground. And it's not translated. We will eventually have a translation down below. And we got this, plus they put up a monument. I don't know if I have that picture with me or not. I'll have to
What
look.
one's that one?
Of the monument in Malmedy. And you saw the two little monuments outside the church.
Yeah, we should
But
have
then there's a
those.
big one that's 8 foot high and about 6 foot wide in Malmedy with the name Avenue de Norweg, which is Avenue of Norway. And this happens to be my unit. The original patches, when we were coming home, they gave us the one with the white borders because they didn't have enough of them. Our command. And in essence, really, and we're still looking for documentation on it. In essence, let's say there were 6 staff sergeants out in the field and there had to be a decision made as to who was going to be in command. All right. If the other 5 didn't have this on their jacket or were owners of it, they would not be in command, be the one that was a green bar command. Likened it on to the German military, they determined rank, not as far as title, now rank based on their serial number. The lower your serial number was, the more rank you really had. And our honor guards were right in through here. Then of course along the entire parade route. And then we marched up Karl Johannesgaten from Akershus up to the castle. Now the story behind this picture, it was brought in by Tom Scadam the morning of the day that the King and Queen were going to be here. And he just wanted to leave this here for the day and take it home. Well, being devious, we made an agreement with him that we would make 3 copies, of which there is one back here. There would be one for here and one for each of his 2 children and himself, providing we could keep this, and this is the original. Now this original is going to go in storage because we're scared of leaving it lay loose. Mm-hmm. Somebody might acquire it on there. The story behind him. I think he was a lieutenant at the time. Yeah, Lieutenant Larson. He was with the OSS group, Norso. And they went on a Jedburgh mission, which was into France to tie up with the Marquis to set up underground activities in the area. And they got ambushed, and he got killed in the ambush. And a priest from the town that was right near there took his body and equipment and secreted it in his church area. The glasses themselves he used to go up into the tower of the church to pick up data for the underground, for troop movements and stuff like this here. And back in, I think it was 92, when they were back for a reunion in that town, the priest got a hold of a member of the Norso group and asked him if he would please take the field glasses back home. And he brought them back home, and I heard about it, and it took me 7 years to get those glasses away from him. But he was willing to give them up. The picture up on the wall here are 4 of the members of the Norso group. And the second one from the right is Bill Kobe. And this uniform is a actual copy, except for 2 things, of the Norso uniform. 2 things being, that was not his rank when he was in Norso. He was a staff sergeant, but he stayed in the reserves. And we wanted to take and change it back to the original stripes, which would be like on my uniform, but you see the difference in color. And we finally agreed that we wouldn't take it off. The other thing is, his paratroop wings are just a little different than what mine was, because he's got a blue backing on it. And there's no way you can get that off without cutting the fish wire that's got sewn onto the uniform. It's infantry. There are various colors that would determine if you are in the artillery. In other words, there's just another mode of insignia. And I don't remember all the colors. I know the artillery was red. The ground personnel. Norso is the only group that was allowed to wear that because they got their jump training through the British.
The top patch.
The middle patch.
Oh, okay.
The top one is Special Forces.
So this one in the middle is a British patch.
Right. Uh-huh.
And the this wreath is because it was a special unit. It was an award, right?
Right.
Can you tell me a little about that? The one on the lower part of the jacket there. The wreath. How did the unit get that?
How did they get it?
Uh-huh.
It was tied to their overall training, and was issued at, as I understand it, at the end of war while they were still up in Norway, which is equal to the Parliament in the United States, and that actually flew over the Storting in Norway, in Oslo. The one that you're on right now, that is the Norso Reaper Group in Vesterhiem on the day after the official surrender of the Germans.
What day was that?
Pardon me?
What day?
That would have been May 8th. And then there's a story behind this one here. The part of the surrender did not include turning in their ammunition and rifles and stuff, but they were supposed to be stored. And various groups of the 474th, because the 474th is what we were a part of when we went to Norway. About 5 o'clock in the morning, or let's say it this way, about dusk every morning, you would surround a particular camp, and they would take the entire populace in that camp and force them out into the field, and they would literally be strip searched all the way through, and you would take everything that did not require that they keep, such as weapons, knives, and so forth. And in going through to show you how meticulous the commander was, this is General Summer in here, and he would go through, and there would be, and you can't see him, but back in behind there's a fellow wearing black gloves, went up to about the elbow, a long overcoat and a hood over his head with 2 slits for the eyes, purpose of which was for him to walk through these ranks here and pick out any SS, any quislings, or persons that were collaborators. And they would just pick them out, and the guards that were walking through here would take and just pull them right out. And that's how this was done, and you can see how everybody is lined up in this whole area to do it.
Just gonna go from the wall.
Oh, okay.
He'll be in the museum someplace.
Yeah. We got this vial, and as I call it, the paperweight. Ironically, again, the day of the opening of the heavy water exhibit, which was in another building at the time. And the ironic part about it, this play was all put together in about a total of 4 hours. So they could display it that night, because this pictorial display was what was being put into an open exhibit. And over in the other building, there were a lot of columns in there, and the spotlights were recessed into the ceiling, a little different from what we have in here. And the shadow cast from this thing here would make it look like it was moving. And some people would back away from it, just like you're doing, wondering what the heck it was on there. And they claim that if you kind of jump on the floor here a little bit, it moves, but I have never seen it move. So, and this is just suspended from here up to the top here, just with fish wire. It's all it is. Now, have you had a chance to read up on any of what was done in this area here? Okay, you might want to take, which you're probably doing right now, all the verbiage off of here, make it a lot easier for you. And then when you're ready, I'll explain this middle picture here.
Go ahead.
Okay, all this is just to show how German troops came into Norway on April 9th back in 1940. And for the most part, the straight line troops were relatively under good control. But when you got to the SS and people like this here, it was sheer torture to anyone that they captured or eliminated altogether. And this is King Haakon. When on June 7th of 40 is when the official surrender took place as far as records are concerned. The hostilities really started to cease on May 8th, but full capitulation was on June 7th of 1940, and that is King Haakon himself going up. On this picture here, this is the hydroelectric plant, and the 9 fellows that are on this picture here, literally, and I'm going to have to walk in front of you or go around, they literally came down here and into a gorge, then came up this sheer wall, up and through here, into this landing here, in order to get into here, which is shown on some subsequent pictures where they went in to blow up the cells, of which there were 18 cells. Your water was supplied through these pipes, which goes up here to Rjukan. The plant name was known as Vimark, and Rjukan is up here. Now, you've probably seen some movies on trying to destroy this, and they had a bunch of British planes and American planes come in through here and try to bomb. Well, there was only so far that they could go, and then they had to start going up. So they had to bomb from higher up, and as a result of it, they really didn't damage as much as a lot of people say they did. Now, there was an attempt by the British. They had 2 B-24s and 2 gliders, and they tried to get in to this area. They did not parachute into this actual area. They parachuted a distance away for obvious reasons. And they came in, and both planes and 1 glider crashed. The other plane was able to get back out of there, but later, as we understand it, also crashed. Now, they were all either killed when they crashed, or those that were living within hours were executed. And they were all British. Then you got the mission that came up from the Norwegian underground. One of the main leaders was Gunnar Sundsteby, and there actually was only 9 men on that particular mission. And those are Polish pictures, of course, but those are the 9 men that came up in there. And their mission was to get in through here, and I have to ask you a question. Do you have any idea how they were able to get up? No, it doesn't say it in there. But they were able to get down and get out, and none of them were captured. And this happened in February of '43. So at this point, you actually had 2 attempts to get in here. Now, the picture you're looking at this point, that is a posed picture. So you could see actually what the cells look like. And this is how they were preparing by wiring with probably Corday wire or Composition C or one of those loads. Corday blows at 2,700 feet a second. And they got this all pre-wired. When they blew it, this is how the cells looked like. And they destroyed all 18 of them. But the Germans had enough to get them back into motion again, but their temporary disruption of what was taking place was done based on the way these cells up here look. And this is just another view of that particular room where all the cells were, to show the destruction that they did do in here. And that was the only bridge that was able to get you across the gorge, which was shown on that other picture we were looking at. And this is some of the damage that was done by the B-17s on bombing runs. But this, again, was up in the Rjukan area. This is not the factory itself. Now, after these attempts, message got out that the Germans were going to move the 700 some odd pounds of heavy water that they had to Germany by taking it out of Norway by water, which would have been by this ferry here, and ferrying it down into Germany. The history books show that how the message got out that this was happening. One of the physicists or doctors or whatever his title was, faked that he was going to have an appendectomy. And as such, he was taken into one of the towns to have the appendectomy done, and the surgeon was an underground member that this man knew, And as they were in the process, he revealed a message about shipping this water, heavy water out of the, get in to the ferry. And as they say, if you want to keep something down, you literally have to sit on it. Well, that was a mistake the Germans made. Probably a mouse couldn't have got into any part of the train that was bringing the heavy water down to the port because they were that heavily guarded. But once they got to the port and waiting for the next morning to get the tankers in to the ferry itself, that's where they were able to get in and wire down into the whole area and preset a timing on it. Now, you'll see a difference if you looked at the American version of the Here is a Telemark versus the British version of it. There is a little difference in what you would say the authenticity of the report. And the reason I say it that way is one version says that hundreds of people were killed. Well, I think the figure was something like 24 of them. And of those 24 or 27, whatever figure it was, 11 of them were students, young kids. And the thing was prearranged around the coast area through here. Those people were alerted, and they had their rowboats, speedboats, or whatever it was, and at the precise time that the detonation took place, the various boats would come out and rescue as many of the people as they could. And it came down in through this area and it sunk in there and is still down in that particular area. They claim it's about 2,000 foot deep in that water. And we flew with the then Crown Prince Haakon, who is now, not Haakon, I'm sorry, Harald, Crown Prince Harald. And we flew with him up to Narvik for this dedication. That's where the climbers were hooked on that. They ran underneath and all the way to the back. And they work similar to a Velcro. As long as you're going forward, the fingers would not dig into anything. But if you start sliding backwards, these little fingers would go down in and retard the slipping. But we have never been able to find a pair of them. They're all wood too, if I remember correctly.
Anymore.
Okay.
Go ahead, see the arrowhead.
Okay, on the ETO medal, for each campaign, of which there were 5 that we were in, and there were only 5 campaigns, you are entitled to a Bronze Star symbol. That is not to be confused with the actual Bronze Star. And you had the option, if you had 5 Bronze Stars, that you could, in lieu thereof, take and put a Silver Star pin in there. Again, the Silver Star is not to be confused with the regular Silver Star, which is for gallantry. Most of us left all 5 Bronze Stars on there because it would have destroyed the plastic that covers the ribbons, and also the ribbons would have been punched have 5 more punches in there. Then to the very left, which would be on the right-hand side of the ribbon from behind, but for our purposes on the left-hand side, there is a arrowhead, a bronze arrowhead, which depicts that we were part of the invasion force. Now they define the invasion and support troops going from the 4th of June to the 21st of August. And those dates there, many troops are trying to say exactly what days they came in, but due to records purposes, it has created a problem. And there is supposed to be a contact made with me from a beach. His regular name was beach commander, I guess is what they would call him, which designated to tell the troops which way they were supposed to move when they got onto the beachhead. But as of this date, I haven't been contacted, and just where he fits in for our group, I really don't know.
Oh. This isn't that old. Nordic Fest.
Is it Nordic Fest or Christmas Fest?
Nordic, well, probably Christmas too, because we haven't gotten up here for a couple of years.
It saves a lot of handwriting, doesn't it?
This does?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the old
Norwegian.
Norwegian. And what it really says is, give us this day our daily bread. But it's, you know, how many, 1800s?
It's got to be way before that.
Yeah, well, it was started in 1897. Yeah, that's too bad about Marion, isn't it?
Yeah. He must have really been loaded.
Oh, yeah. I guess I don't know how they found out, but he passed away this morning. But when he went home and had some tests taken, he was,
What's the difference between the winter and heavy work? Huh? Oh, okay. What's the use for?
that's not a leak, is it?
Uh-huh.
Wet wall? Is that wet?
No.
They don't need any problems like that.
Though they've had a little water riding.
Mm-hmm. Hotel, yeah, but they also had something else before it got to be a hotel.
Some printing company, but I don't know
I
who
don't
it
know,
was.
it's been many, many things.
We'll have to get a camera like that, Ma, so we don't have to do so darn much writing.
Yeah, you're not kidding. No, we
Just
got
send him a
computer.
movie, huh?
Huh?
Just send him a movie.
Where's Kenny's pipe?
Oh, we haven't brought it
Oh,
down.
we didn't bring it in yet?
Uh-uh.
Oh. Are these all snuff boxes?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Up in this area here, we'll have one of my grandfather's pipes. A lot more ornate than some of these are in here. But it's just a matter of getting everything lined up to bring in. They're probably 4 feet high at the most. They come up to about, because I was small, and we brought them over from Norway.
Did you learn to ski as a child?
Yeah.
So when you got in the 99th, it was easy.
We even had barrel staves or skis.
Oh, yeah. The old sleds.
Narrow neck, just like skis would be up on the front with the trailers. And we call them trailblazers. And then we had the shoe packs, which were kind of egg-shaped. Would you believe?
Though it is similar in many ways to a standard violin, its ornamentation, flat belly, raised F-hole, and most importantly, its sympathetic string make the hard-iron violin unique. An older stringed instrument is the langalike, which is similar to the plucked zither. Examples of this can be seen to your right. One string is used to play the melody, while the others act as drones. Inexpensive instrument. It was developed in Sweden in the early 1800s to accompany church services in rural areas. Its low cost and the ease with which it could be learned soon made the psalmodican popular in Norway and among Scandinavians emigrating to America.
Did anybody play these on the ship?
Each region in Norway
If they
had
did,
its
I
own particular
didn't
set of
hear 'em.
tunes, which were played on the violin, the langalike, and other simple instruments. However, late
Holly Olsen. Olfen.
This one goes all the way back to 1819.
an older stringed instrument is the langalike, which is similar to the plucked zither. Examples of this can be seen to your right. One string is used to play the melody, while the others act as drones. The psalmodican to the far right combines qualities of the langalike and the violin. It shares a fretted, elongated box form with the langalike, and it bows like a violin with simple instrument. However, late in the 19th century, just as virtual the button accordion was often the instrument used to accompany the waltz, Rhinelander Orcage, and polka. An example of this instrument may be seen on the stage beside you.
On the Southland, there's a lot of faces like that yet, I understand. they don't have a card here for some reason for this.
But there are 30-something districts there.
Yep.
We gotta find which one.
My dad's area where I was born, that's way at the top of the Sunday field. I think what this I don't think I'd have to get up and go to do something like that. Drill team, so I would think that ties together. And that's also.
It's quite a uniform.
Mhm. You want to? 1837. Problem sometimes with the people bringing food in, and they're supposed to catch them at the front door, but they have these backpacks. There must be a vibration on the floor here, because see how the
You know the story of that one? Do you know the story of that one?
Yeah, someday I'm going to have to come in here and read every bit of it to It must be pretty warm out. You can feel the heat through. Different groups together I was supposed to have one group of 30. Thank God they never showed up because you could never handle 30 at one time in that area. And that darn neuropathy can give her a hard time. Away because they use the prerogative in some of their literature subject to museum acceptance, because some of the stuff is not actual
Be that difficult.
but it wasn't up for the Nordic Fest, or at least I didn't see it.
No, it wasn't, it's just been put up.
Uh-huh. That's
I don't
all-
wanna get in his way.
That's all the mythology and stuff's gonna wind up.
Either that or give it to Cara. The one that your grandparents gave you?
No, the ones my Aunt Sophie gave me for the
The
war.
with the little lattice for the mowing?
Well, did you eat yet?
No, I'm waiting for you
We better get
guys.
some food in you. That'll give Bill a chance.
I'd hate to be the one that has to go in there and clean all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Hand in there?
Oh, get out of
look
here.
down the bottom. It's kind of whitish in color to your left. Right
Yeah.
about there.
Oh, they gave that to Marion too, don't they? That was always Marion's dream, to stand by a tree with a can of beer in his hand. Boy, look at that big painting.
Well, they were. And take out the width, flat rim without a bead. Instead of.
Come in this side and come around, you don't see it when
There's
it's
charging
down
right there.
because they're kind of down.
I get a kick out of the goat hanging over the road.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Yeah, that's us. And I figured when we heard that, it wasn't good. Yeah, Dorothy Beckham has the same thing. Does she? No.
Yes, we heard all these wonderful things when we came here to Northern
Yeah.
That's how they weren't here for Northern
When I went work over there, I don't hear as much. But we just went, Brenda Carlson was on the board for me. I mean, he's not fancy too, so, I mean, all of a sudden, it just went. And it was so pretty. He was a fun video, so it was just pretty silly. But all really got me on the phone because he just called me for his address, because he's been putting off writing this note. Because it's just bothered him too, because we'd known him, it was right, right at the corner, you see they tore out, and he remembers all, all of that. And I don't, but he was around there a lot, and the very first time we met her, and Laura was first moved here, and I had still had my hand alone, but she's such a,
So how you doing, Doris?
I always said that, knock on wood, I would never go through surgery, I would never go through chemo, I would just take every day as a... No, I don't think so. We went to Alaska last year and that kind of, I decided that was, I don't want to, after going there, I don't really care to go any more places.
Oh.
Back and forth to Vesterheim, kid. And so I thought, okay, the good Lord let me get through all that, that's fine, I'm not asking for anything else. Ran out in Norway,
Mm-hmm.
holy smokes.
Yep, they just left yesterday.
Oh, they did?
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
How long are they going to be gone?
They get back, let's